Hey, thanks for coming. We're talking in a series about success, how Tantra encompasses the law of attraction. There are a lot of people that talk about the law of attraction. And a good working definition of the law of attraction is whatever you think of comes into your life, becomes reality. And one of the best exponents of that is Abraham Hicks. Got these books and stuff like that. Success, the science behind success has been known for thousands of years, much earlier than Abraham Hicks. And I've talked to a number of people about Abraham Hicks and the law of attraction. And let me tell you what's missing. Abraham Hicks really doesn't have a good answer why it takes so long for something to manifest. And there's a number of reasons for that. And this is sort of just a brief introduction of one of the techniques. Briefly, let me just say that once you learn how to be successful, the next question is what to be successful at. And part of that thought of what to be successful at comes the awareness of when you become successful at things happen in your life. So let me just say there's two very dramatic things that happen once you become completely in control of your environment. To be successful means that you control your environment. When you control your environment in one thing, absolutely the next thing you want to do is control a bigger portion of your environment. So people that are successful and they control part of their environment and they want to get more successful, they will redouble their efforts. They'll do more of it. Whatever you succeed at, you do more of it. Later on, when you see the consequences of what you want, you learn what to be successful at. And I won't go into that. It's a very detailed, thought-provoking discussion. When you get there, I'll be glad to talk to you about that, the issues. Suffice it to say, the people that are really successful, you'll never meet. Because one of the things they've learned to do is to hide. But we're going into the Satya Yuga, and some of these things have to become known. In fact, all of them will be in a order of revelation. Okay, to get back to the law of attraction. Law of attraction is a mental exercise. You don't take your hand and go do something. You think on what you want. And if you think about it long enough and hard enough, it'll appear. Okay, well, that's exactly true. So Abraham Hicks is right about that. What he doesn't understand is how to make it appear faster, or the fastest way. And the reason why it doesn't appear instantaneously. The law of attraction says whatever you think of will appear. Okay, well, just to show you how long this knowledge has been around and hidden. There's a story about a yogi in India, of course, long, long ago. And he decided he'd been meditating for a large number of years, and he decided he wanted to go to another city that he hadn't visited for many, many years. So on the way back to that city, he came across a tree just off to the side that looked very unusual. So he decided he would go sit and meditate while he was there. Yeah. So he sat underneath the tree, and he didn't know it, but this was a wish-fulfilling tree. So whatever he thought about would appear, just like the law of attraction. So he started his meditation, but as he was starting his meditation, he was thinking about all the delicious foods that he would eat back at that city. He had been there before. Because he had been doing his meditation and then thought of that, a wonderful meal with all those foods on gold plates appeared right in front of him on a picnic. And the yogi was completely surprised. And he says, well, he was thinking to himself, how could this happen? I was doing my meditation, and all of a sudden my mind was distracted, and I thought of that food, and by God, there it is. He says, maybe it's something what I think. Well, let me try something. And he says, oh, let me have a whole bag of gold in front of me. My God, no sooner did he think it, then poof, it appeared. So the yogi says, wow, I'm really onto something here, but I'm afraid somebody will come along or a tiger will appear and eat me. Poof, gulp. So even there. So this is a simile to describe the law of attraction. So if you're using the law of attraction, why doesn't what you want appear right now? Well, they knew the answer to that back then too. I've updated the story a little bit, so I'll tell you it this way. You're rich. Oh, you like the start of that already, huh? And befitting your new status as somebody that's rich, you go down and you want to buy an expensive car. Well, let's just say it's a Mercedes. Okay. A white one. So you go into the dealership and you haggle and get your best price. And you agree on a price and you go to the bank and you get a cashier's check. So you go back to the dealership. You told the dealer you're going to come back with a cashier's check. So he's there with all the papers to sign. You give him the cashier's check. He gives you the keys. Well, you don't go directly out to the car. You turn around to your friend who drove you in your old car to the dealership. And so you say, okay, I got the car. I'll follow you home. And see, he goes off home to your home. And you get in your car and you feel the smell of the new car smell. And you feel the wheel and you play with the controls. And then you go home. So here's what comes next is why you don't get what you want immediately when you use the law of attraction. You go home and you've got the key to the car, but your friend drove your other car home and drove it into the garage. So you can't get your brand new car into the garage until you get the old one out. In the law of attraction, that action is called the law of vacuum. So let me give you the story on this. The law of attraction says you can get whatever you want, okay, without any time considerations. Okay, so you use the law of attraction to get the car, but your past actions, okay, we call that karma, interferes with the completion of your desire, which is to have the car in the garage. It's not really part of your life until it's in the garage. So just a dealership purchase is a continuing action to get to the final desire, getting the car into your life, which means getting it into the garage. Okay, so this is the answer. Why the law of attraction doesn't work, only works partially, takes time to complete. The answer, the full answer, which none of the people out there in the law of attraction really tell you, is that your past karma is the result of your using an earlier version of the law of attraction. Okay, sorry I'm taking your time, but this is a very important point. What the sages say is that you are already realized, that you already have the Kundalini wide awake and you've been using it. And you've been using it to keep yourself unaware of that even. So, until you understand that you've already been using the law of attraction, you can't get what you want in a timely manner. That's a very important point. Now, it's possible to make the law of attraction work even though you have those obstructions. And this is where pranayama comes in, the science of the breath. Okay, or the science of prana, or chi, or the kundalini. Okay, so if you learn pranayama, you can make things manifest much quicker, even if you have these karmic obstructions. Okay, so here we go. Prana is the same as your mind. Okay, pranayama increases control of the prana. The prana has both a physical, an astral, and a causal representation. And your karma is your prana. This becomes solidified in what's called vasanas. Okay, so if you learn pranayama, you can increase the circulation of the energy within your being. What they don't tell you, and this is a secret, when you think about what you want, you hold your breath and image what you want and feel at the third eye that the energy is going into what you want. That will overcome some of the obstructions. Some are very deep, but you only need to get rid of one or two. But the weaker ones manifest what you want. Depends on what you want. All this is something that you have to be educated about. But give you some idea, you've heard of the zone in sports, right? Okay, that a player is going along and all of a sudden he enters into a state of heightened awareness. Well, one way that they've learned to make that height, and so you play at your best. You may still not win, but you played your best game you ever did. And that feeling of intense happiness is addictive. So you want to do it again. So one of the things they've been recently learned to do in the sports world is before they go into the game is to sit and take a few minutes to imagine how the game is going to go, how you want it to go, how you're going to play better, every play sometimes even. And what they found is when you go out in the field, by gum, it starts to play that way. The law of attraction. Well, next time, I encourage you to go do that. When you're doing that, you're a couple minutes into it, stop and look at your breath. And what you will see is that your breath is very smooth and quiet, almost not breathing. So this is the law of attraction being hooked up to your breath. You are actually doing a little bit with the prana. If you increase the amount of prana that goes into your image, it'll come faster. So that's it. It's really easy. I encourage you to do that. See what the abilities will be that manifest in your life. For as soon as you do, I know that you'll want to know more. And there's more. So I'll leave a little plug in for that. Thank you for coming.